Good evening, YouTube. What a busy week. What a busy month. What busy everything. I tell you, I'm going to get myself comfortable. I don't plan on being on here long. I want to talk about the title, who or what can we believe? Who or what can we think anymore? Um it's in the evening, about 5 o'clock. People are probably driving. A lot of people won't get on this video until I publish it. Right now it is live. So I'm going to give some time for people to get on. I always do my videos impromptu. I maybe have done a video once or twice with notes, if that, out of 200 and something videos that I've done. I listened to one of my videos on here this week. I usually don't listen to myself like a second or a third time, but I listened to this video and it was really good. So I recommend you guys to go to my older videos. Um, One I listened to in particular, if you can find it, that I thought it was really good. I had my hair had blonde braids. So I listened to that video and I learned something from myself just talking. I'll try to put the video in the description. I think it was about 5 years ago, a year before or a year after I first traveled to Nigeria. And speaking of Nigeria, I guess you can see, I'm trying to get my head to go the right way, so I'm sitting straight up. I guess you can see now I have a series that I'm writing and it's called I Can't Believe It. And there'll be a lot of things that in this series, it's a fiction series. All of it is alleged. Some of it may have really happened, but it is going to be written throughout every time I do an episode. And it actually helps me to get into my creative side of always wanting to write a book. So, for those of you that have been liking it and sharing it and watching it, thank you so much. You guys have brought my views up, my subscriptions up, and one of the couple of the videos I've recently done has over 1,000 views. So thank you for that. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. I was letting a demon out, probably. But thank you for your support. Thank you for you liking and subscribing to the channel so far with the new direction it's taking. It's not the only direction it's going to take, but it's the direction that I decided to take until my viewers get up to 500 viewers. So when I get up to 500 viewers, you may see a shift, but you will still see my episodes of my series and other stuff because I am multifaceted, multi gifted. So you guys will see a lot on this channel. You'll see a lot of my journey on this channel. Actually, if you go back to the older videos, you'll see right during COVID when things were getting super spiritual and super informative on a spiritual level. Those are good. For those of you that are faith walkers, I would suggest looking at those videos. Don't judge me by the most recent videos because the most recent videos I have are telling stories and just giving depictions and it's all different ways that God can capture our attention or that I want to capture attention or that I want to be creative and be who I am. One thing you'll find about me is I am my authentic self. Always 100%. I'm never faking it. I'm just me. So wherever I go, I may encounter people. We encounter sometimes the counterfeit, the person that people want to present to us. We'll encounter that person. Then we'll get the real person along the way and down the road. So sometimes we'll encounter someone else. Some people live someone else's life all their lives. I challenge you, if you're watching this video, be authentic, be authentically you, and be happy with who you are, and don't make any qualms about who you're not. Let me see this side. I want to bring down. Yeah. God. Let's see. Gosh. These glasses. Let me see if I can fix them. Yeah, I can see better with these, but they're not really straight. Okay, now they are a little bit. Mm, okay, so be authentically yourself. Don't put on a show for anybody. I don't chase recognition. I don't chase popularity. I don't chase people looking at me. I'm just myself. When I go into a room, what you see is what you get. So if you can be that and be uniquely you, and whatever doesn't grow towards you, let it go. Don't trip on it. You're going to have many seasons. When you get to my age in life, you will have experienced many seasons, different relationships, things that you thought were going to be forever. I've learned in life there's no such thing as forever. I don't care if you meet somebody that has been married 50 years, that's their life. It's very unique and very minuscule nowadays. But there are some people you'll meet that have been married two, three times. But I just want to say that nothing in this temporary world is promised to be eternal. So don't get your heart crushed if you're going through divorce, going through separation. I think I'll pivot right there. That's why I got on. I wanted to talk about what can we really believe in what we see. Did you know that the United States was built to bring the world together for the New World Order? Are you aware of that? A lot of people say, oh, it's founded on all these Christian principles. Well, never do you see the name of the Lord's Son, God our Father's Son, mentioned when they made the dollar bill or when they made the Constitution. The Constitution says we the people. It doesn't say we the nations under God, whom we trust. It just has in God we trust on the dollar bill, but it has the pyramid. You know, the Pentagon is set up under a like a five-pointed star. Um, the Pentagon has committed more murders than any other place in the world. Period. More wars were created by different families. We know a lot of things we see we can't believe. You know, Obama is not black. He's not born in the United States, or if he is born in the United States, why is his birth certificate hidden and all that stuff hidden? Why would you have to hide something that is known? He's related to the Bushes, so that's how he got to be president. He had to have some kind of bloodline in this thing. The United States is set up and is going to usher this whole world into one world system, one world order, allegedly. It's going to usher us into it, allegedly. But I've told somebody today, these next 4 years, get what you can, put away what you can, because after these next 4 years, life is going to be significantly different than what you see. So enjoy it this 4 years. Enjoy vacationing, enjoy your family, prepare for things. Don't just live day to day, don't just live fly by night, but start preparing yourself for the future. Prepare on how I was actually watching this week. No, not just this week, today. I'm always consumed with watching something for a long period of time until I study it, until I get all the blood, sweat, and tears out of it, and then I move on to something else. But today, I started watching how to preserve. And I didn't think it was preserving anything like our parents used to do, boil it in a pot and pour it in a jar. These people were actually keeping whole pears, whole peaches, whole plums, whole grapes, put them in a jar, boiling them while they're in the jar, and then putting them up. And I was actually watching another show that said how to heat your house without electricity. And so I said to myself, okay, is this the next trend I'm going to study? So I'll be prepared for anything, any crisis that happens. I don't seek these things out. I pray and I asked God today, whatever you want me to take in for today, let it be taken in. And so as I scroll through YouTube, watch television, I get ideas and come up with things. I haven't found out some things. I remember in the 90s when Akia cocaine, don't ask me how I remember that or know that. Just listen. Akia cocaine was about $1,000. Well, now I realize that Akia cocaine is $1,000 when it's first being processed. When it's first being processed, not when it gets all the way to US. Then when it gets transported from Colombia to the next place, Tegata, Mexico, then it changes from 1,000 to 1,600. Then when it gets transported to the next person, a key costs 10,000. Then it gets transported, it's cost 16. Keys of cocaine now are costing $16,000 now. Gosh, I guess the 90s have been a long time in the past, like 30 years ago. So, yes, we forget after the war on drugs. We believe, oh, they did a war on drugs. It's not like it used to be. It is way worse than it used to be. Who are you going to believe? You're going to believe the media? The media is not talking about it. When the media wanted to talk about Ukraine and Russia fighting, they talked about it. Ukraine and Russia is still fighting. How come we don't see it on the media anymore? Only when it was beneficial for a Biden administration to talk about it and talk about how much they were giving to Ukraine and the Democratic Party to talk about it. That's when we saw most of the media talking about it. Now we have Trump in office. We don't see a lot of that discussion about Ukraine. Now we're seeing discussion about Israel, Israel and the Palestinians, Israel and the Palestinians. Did you know? Well, we won't talk about that. That's not part of what I want to talk about. But just to say, who can we believe and what can we trust? Here it is. Cardi B does her second album after years of bearing children and not doing an album. All planned, all calculated. And she puts out an album when she's having another child. And just so happens she's having another child with Stefan Diggs, a whole nother man, a whole nother message for us to be entertained by in this country, in this world, who Cardi B's baby daddy is. And she's still married. And the images that we depict used to be wholesome, but now the images we depict are whatever the industry can distract us with. And so when you think about it, what makes more money? Cardi B and Offset together? No, not any longer. Now, Cardi B and Offset split is going to make double money because people can talk about Offset, people can talk about Cardi B. And it's going to make triple money because now people can talk about Stefan Diggs. Stefan Diggs connected with Cardi B. He signed a $69 million contract. You think that wasn't a come up for him? And do you think Cardi B is not a come up for him? $69 million contract since being with Cardi B. And who was she standing in the booth with? The same person that was around when she did Bodak Yellow, I believe, that album. The owner of the team. You think that's a coincidence? That she just happens to be pregnant by Stefan Diggs and they're okay. And Offset is making waves in his lane. That's still money for the industry. That's still something to be distracted with. And So it's not about losing money. That family is gaining money still, being separated. That's why divorces make money for industries. Jay-Z and Beyonce. If they were to separate Jay-Z and Beyonce finds someone else and Jay-Z finds someone else, do you know how much coverage that is? Do you know how much money they would make? But they made a mistake to allow Jay-Z to get powerful. And as long as some of these people are quote unquote sacrificing, nothing's going to touch them in their sacrifice. And look at what happened with Diddy. Diddy got a slap on the wrist. The trial turned from a witch hunt into a domestic violence case and had all the men on his side saying, see, and now he's getting domestic violence. And that's what it was all about in the first place. It was about more than that. But you don't hear about the young lady, forget her name, that's championed the children that have been being trafficked. Who or what are we supposed to believe nowadays? Who or what are we supposed to believe? That's the question today. That is the question. So, the New World Order is closer than we think. AI is here. All of our jobs have been sent, most of the jobs have been sent overseas to be taken care of. And if they're not sent overseas, the people overseas are doing our customer service now. And with them doing our customer service, there's nothing private. There's nothing going to be private anymore. You have to give them a part of what you give them. Give them your last four of your social. That's all they're using now for your identity anyway. So you're giving away your identity every time you pick up the phone. Who or what are we supposed to believe? Now, these people are getting in positions and they are very arrogant. Don't let you walk into your bank and you have one of these people in a position at the head of the bank. If you have no power, you're going to suffer. If you have power, you sit down in an office and sit face to face with that person and you tell them who you are and tell them you're not the one to be played with. Okay? Who and what are you going to believe? Know who you are. That's very important. Know your power. If you don't have power, find out how to get power. And there is power in a whole bunch of ways. But there is one way to get power that's the best way, and that's to be on the right side of things. That is legitimate power. That power has to be cultivated in patience and tests and trials. You can't just get that kind of power overnight. Who or what do we believe now? What is going on? I truly believe that because my children have a father and a mother that are special kind of people, and I birthed them into this world, that they are powerful vessels in this earth, and that they are going to rule and reign and do something great in the earth. Recognize, how do you break these generational curses? You break them by protecting your seed, not just spiritually praying, but caring for your seed, keeping track of your seed, and your seed is protected more if you don't say, oh, that's the responsibility of their mama and daddy. No, it's a family responsibility. We have let the United States change us from being a family with a grandfather, a mother, children, we used to all be around each other under the same roof almost practically. We kept in touch. Family reunions aren't what they used to be, but you can stop that. You can break the generational curses by keeping track of your seed and teaching your seed yourself, your grandchildren, teaching them yourself, because you can't leave that up to this generation. You just can't. My phone is broken. When I answer my phone, I can't even see who's calling me. So excuse me. Hello? Telemarketer. Who or what are we to believe? What are we going to believe now? What's going on in the world? They talked about SNAP, food benefits, cutting them off. They shut down the government. Do you know why I believe the government is shut down? Now I'm coming into mind why I did this live video. I believe the government is shut down because there's a lot of corruption. I believe that there's some corrupt officials that have been cut off from being corrupt because Trump has pulled their power and shut the government down. There are a lot of AI videos that have gone on acting like blacks is really crying about not having food benefits for a month. Some people have made that. Probably the Democratic Party. And my party, for one or the other, both of them are heads of snakes. I don't trust one or the other. I just trust God putting in power who he believes should be in power. For these next 4 years, do I feel safe? Do I feel good about the power structure? I won't tell you because I might lose some of my listeners or I might gain some. So I won't get in the middle of that. Because who can I believe or what can I believe? Some people say that Trump is like King Nebuchadnezzar. Some people say he's two headed. Some people say it's the ushering of the New World Order in it coming in or the stopping of it. What do you say? Who or what are you going to believe? Who or what are you? Whatever you believe, you have to find comfort and peace in God. You can't rely on who's president, who's in office. Look at how Obama got in office. Look at him and the person that he married. Look at him calling the person he married Michael a few times. Who or what can you believe? Look at who was that running for president? I've forgotten her name. Anyway, she thought she was going to become president, had it in the bag. Obama criticized a group of black men saying, "Why are you not voting for her because she's a woman?" He reprimanded them. But you don't see him crying out about black issues. He never was a black president, if you ask me. And did I vote for him? No, I did not. I didn't feel led to vote for him. I voted the opposite. Can you believe that? My first vote in my whole entire life. And I even felt led not to vote for Obama. And if YouTube loves Obama, maybe they'll strike my channel. Maybe they'll strike this video. I don't care for Obama. Never have. You won't see a picture of him in my house. I go in black people's houses and I see a picture of Obama by Martin Luther King. Oh my goodness. It's just hilarious to me what we believe or what we think. What do we believe? What can we think? All I know is in these times, I have to take care of my granddaughter, my grandchildren. I have to keep breaking the generational curse that's been on my family by showing up, by doing what I can do for this dispensation. Let me put it like that. I was going to say generation, but it's not for this generation. It's for now. What is God doing now? So many of us are so distracted and so caught up in doing things like we normally do them that we have not taken time to pull ourselves aside and say, what do I need to prepare for my family, for my children, for my children's children to have something in the earth that they can say that they did not bow down to worship an idol, or bow down to worship a system. So have to take calls because I don't know if it's an emergency. Hello. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Thank you. I'm just going to believe that there are telemarketers calling me now. I'm not worried about that phone. I never answer my phone when I do a live anyway, but what the heck? It's a live. Um, so I've been getting my thing going on with this scenario of Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to close my live on this topic. And Candace Owens. I saw Candace Owens saying, Charlie had dreams. We talked all the time. We text. We spent a lot of time together. And I didn't know the extent of how much time they spent together. And I didn't know her connection with Charlie Kirk until today. All I know is if you don't know Charlie Kirk, he worked for Turning Point USA. And he was talking about getting out of it. He felt his life was in danger, according to Candace Owens. And now they're talking about his wife getting in the car with Elon Musk. And they're painting a picture of her being this handler. And then who comes along and talks a lot about it? Candace Owens. You know, only red flag I have about Candace Owens is she sounds so legitimate. Candace Owens sounds so good. She makes you love her and want to love her. And she's been in our faces for a long time. But one red flag that I can't get out of my spirit is that my son, who has a very strong gift of discernment, Emmanuel T, he doesn't believe in her. And if he doesn't believe in her, something's wrong. And I just really kind of was like fond of her until today. And today I started seeing these short clips of her. And I was saying, she's just so cute. She's just so pretty. But I remember reading that she's connected, and her husband's family is connected, rather, to a certain, was it the Rockefellers? Someone, but someone is allowing her to still be on camera. And then I saw something that said Kanye West said that you need to build up your security and protect yourself. And she got on a video and she said, I think I experienced handlers. It's when I started 2 weeks before or after I started talking about Charlie Kirk. I started having handlers, or it was 2 weeks before he died, one or the other. She said she knows this person popped up and tried to show her a different way, and this person popped up. And she said when she looked back on it, she realized they must have been handlers. And I thought, what is the best disguise for someone to have if they want you to believe who they are? It's to show how innocent they are. That's good, Candace Owens. You're doing excellent with that job. You almost had me. You almost had me. I looked at this black guy saying, before you judge Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, watch these videos. He showed a slew of videos where Charlie Kirk spoke up for black people and spoke up for this and spoke up for that. At the end of those videos, I was like, rah, rah, Charlie Kirk. Then I saw another guy that showed the relationship with him and Candace Owens. I did not know they were that tight. I saw a slew of videos, pictures of Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Why am I talking about this? Because it perked in me to think, wow, she was really connected to him. I ought to really listen to what she's got to say now, because she was connected to Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA. And I saw those black videos, and he really was for black people. and he spoke up about black people, and he brought a lot of black people to Congress. They showed that, and they showed so much good stuff about him. Not saying that he wasn't a good guy, but maybe, just maybe, Candace Owen, maybe you were his handler, allegedly. Because you sure popped up in a lot of videos with him. I did remember one thing, and I'm going to leave this thought in you guys' head, and I will try to do a part 2 on this. In those videos, I got so enlightened and felt so warm and fuzzy. I got to the end. I was so fuzzy that I wanted to see it again. I went back to see it again. The very first picture in the videos was she and Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to leave the link in the description, throwing up the sign, both of them. What is this sign? We used to say, you know what that used to mean? F you as kids. This sign means horns now, and the Illuminati. They're talking about it with Cam Newton saying, do this, then do this, and let's do it together. So I'm not smiling anymore. I'm not feeling warm and fuzzy. I'm wondering why that first picture have you and Charlie Kirk throwing up those horns. Candace Owens, squeaky clean, pretty, white black girl. How do I know about white black girls? Because I lived in white towns. I have children that marry internationally, date internationally. I have been cultivated and lived in a white town before my life. God knew I was going to have children that would live in different areas like that. He knew how to prepare me for this society. So, guess what? I'm here for a reason. I am. And I'm waking back up to that reason. And for those of you who have stepped on my feet and have tried to track me down and have tried to stop my progress and have tried to stop me from doing everything under the sun you could and have wondered why it hasn't worked, is because you don't have the power to stop me ever. And you can't take my life. I lay it down. And that's what will happen. I will lay it down at that appointed time. But until then, I'm on your trail, Candace Owens. I'm on your trail. Other people that are playing these false games. I'm on your trail. Please, all my subscribers, enjoy the videos as I do the videos. Watch my episode, I Can't Believe It, because it's going to share some secrets in there. Watch my videos. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the red notification bell so you get all my lives, all my videos, and you won't miss out on the episodes so that I can reveal to you fictionally, I can reveal to you some truths. Until then, this is Graceful Exposure signing out. Ta-ta. Have a good evening.